Friday morning. We've got 4 done. Heading to the 5th one. It's 9:08. And just for, well, I guess just to make a point about the last video, when we done the route yesterday, we did, the whole thing was going to be like 50 miles, give or take. I think it was going to be like $1,300 something. Well, we've already gone 30. And we've done an 80, a 60, a 125, and a 80.
I think this route was going to be a total of 82 miles. I think is what it said.
Really?
Yep. I believe. Was it 82 or 92? I think it was 82.
Probably 202 time we get done.
Yeah, because you might have to make it.
No, hopefully we'll be able to get everything done. But like I said before, a lot of that's going to go way down. I'm hoping once we get Dent. See, now that we've got that built up in Cedartown like it is, that's a day. We still had 2 more on that list between home and Cedartown, and I mean, I was, you know, it was probably going to be 6:30 time we got. I mean, that's a day. I mean, you know, of course we like to work about 3 more hours, but just because we don't really have a choice. So, you know, but for future reference, if that thing picks up like it did, you know, next year, like it did this year, there's almost 2 days of cutting up there, depending on the size of the yards. More yards on the list today, so we had to pull the 2 over that we didn't get to yesterday because it flooded, and we all got soaking wet and just said screw it, we'll do it tomorrow. So we got 18 on the list. Good bit of driving, like Cody was saying, and but I think we'll be close. But the grass is so thick right now, you know, I don't know if we'll do it, if we'll be able to. But a lot of these yards on this schedule for today, though, benefit the 3rd man a lot more than the ones yesterday did. Pretty much every yard we're cutting on here, besides maybe 2 or 3 of them, all 3 will be busy the whole entire time. So that should speed us up enough to where we can finish it, even with the thick grass, but we'll just have to see. So, just have to see. Got anything you want to add there, Cody?
I think you covered it all.
Think I covered it all?
Oh, yeah.
You gonna be able to handle it for the rest of the season, when deer season starts?
Oh, yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright, y'all, we knocking them back. That was number 7. It's 11 o'clock. So last weekend in the video I put out was talking about that lady that we needed to go up on, and I sent her a text just kind of like I've done everybody else, you know, hey, needed to let you know we're raising our prices. Your new price will be, I think I told her 120 or 125, and she's at 100. And she texted back and said basically no. Thanks for your text. We greatly appreciate the service you have furnished us to us this last year. We will not require your services anymore. Thank you again. So I kind of figured that's what she was going to say, or she wasn't going to take it. But you know, she needed it for one. And the second thing with that is I hate to lose any account, but for one, she needed it for the timing and everything to be right, and for 2, that's the one that we can't come till after 4:30 on Friday, and then sometimes that don't work. And the way we routed our routes this year and everything, just the way that it shook out, her yard has became really, really hard to try to get to. So multiple times. It makes it hard trying to route and figure and plan. So I hate to say it, but if there's one worth dropping or worth losing, that was it. Alrighty, y'all. We are at $1,180 at 2:30. Thanks, sir. Thank you. Alright, we just got done with that one. It's the first time we've cut it with skag in it.
Yeah, that's the first one. I can't believe you did it. I'd have been scared.
In my head, it's impossible to scalp on a 5. But with a skag.
With a skag, it's possible.
Yeah. So Yeah, this is a lady that called. Man, she called what, like 2 days after we got done cutting last time on this route?
The day after.
May have been. And I didn't figure we'd ever get it. I didn't think they would wait. But sounds like some people that kind of care about their grass, because it sounds like they cut and then they want it cut every week. They want to cut it every 2 weeks, and they want somebody else to cut it every 2 weeks, you know, in between. So maybe we'll get it. We're gonna find out. All right. That is 14 down. This lady here, man, they said they fell on some hard times or whatever, and asked us if we didn't cut everything this time. We actually just went up on these people. It was 150, and now it's 170. Like I said, anyways, they had some unexpected expenses come up and everything, and they just asked if we'd just come cut around the pool and the play area for the kids and leave everything else. So I don't know what we're gonna do next time, but it's gonna be even more next time. But that's 14 down, and 1, 2, there's 4 left. All right, we are through 722. I never thought we'd have been done this early, the way the grass is growing and all right now, but we made it. So 1835 on today, 1240 on yesterday's route. It's a total of 3075. I'm just giving y'all this for context, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like saying woohoo or nothing like that. I mean, I think it's good 2 good days. I'm definitely not bragging or anything like that. I'm just, when I watch a video and somebody talks about things, you know, I kind of want to know the details, because you can make things seem a whole lot better, a whole lot worse, you know what I mean? But definitely people make it seem a whole lot better, I feel like, more times than not. And I mean, I'm kind of a glass half empty kind of man, so I just want to give you the context of it. And because I don't know if it's that great. I mean, for our area, I think it's pretty good. It was a rough total, I didn't get exact, but roughly 150 miles total on the weekend. And like I said, $3,075. 18 on the list today, and we cut 8 yesterday. Nine, sorry. We cut 9 yesterday. So that's 27. And I'm gonna divide that out. That's an average of about right at $114 a yard. I don't know why I did that. I just wanted to see. But yeah, and to be honest, the time, we did over 3 last weekend, I think, but the time, you know, was way better. Last Friday we worked from 6:30 to 8:40, and then yeah, so let me break this down real quick. Let's see. It don't matter, I'm gonna scratch that out. But yeah, y'all, I mean, it, you know, pretty good weekend in my opinion. You know, if a crew can go out and do, if we can add more yards to these routes and make them a little bit more dense, because yesterday was a great routed day. 50 miles, 11 yards, and it was going to be $1,365 a day, and we would have got done. So for starters, we spent an hour here changing blades and stuff, and then went to cut. All right, so anyways, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that Skag, but we got all finished up and everything. I was gonna go ahead and cut Cody's here, and but after it cuts for a while, if you turn the blades off, they will not engage back. Anyways, I was just saying about the routes. Yesterday was a good day. Probably a little much for a 2-man, you know what I mean, on the daily, because it'd have been a 12-hour day. But then again, there's 2 yards on the 2 that we didn't get to. Could just be they went on today's route, and they could go on today's route with 2 men also. So we're starting to put it together, you know what I mean? We're starting to put it together to where we're making days. Since day one, we've had a lot of miles adding this thing up. I've said this before, if y'all been following, you know, just trying to say yes, and then, but next year we really got to hone in on our marketing, and kind of, we didn't really do anything this year, but next year we're going to try to hone in on specific areas and try to build a day or 2 here, and a day or 2 here, and a day or 2 here. So hopefully what's going to start happening is we're going to be able to go here in a day, and then here in a day, where right now we're coming up here doing all these and then driving, and then doing all these and then driving, and you know what I'm saying? And that's going to help us. We'll be way more dense, and we'll be able to go to one area, you know, for a day or 2 or whatever. And of course that'll never be perfect, but it's getting a lot better. It's getting a lot better. So yeah, the past 2 weeks, man, have been, we broke over 3,000 2 weeks in a row here, and that's really good. Really don't have anything pending. We just lost that lady again, well, another lady. That's 2 or 3 we've lost in the past, probably in the past 3 weeks, honestly. And I counted at lunch, I believe we're still at 49 yards. You know, we got a couple once a month in there too, but usually we pick one right back up. We may have picked one up for good today. That was just a one time. We were already there. They don't really want to pay the $145. I'm not real sure. When I first talked to them, I don't know, I didn't know they had somebody else cutting it. I guess they weren't happy with him. I don't know. He was a $75 guy, and to be honest, the yard looked okay. I mean, it didn't look awful. They're cutting it in between also, and we charged them at $145, and to be honest with you, it really should have been $165 for our minimum, but it was first time cutting it, and we'll get faster if we can keep going. So we'll have to see there. I hope we can get it. I need to probably reach back out with that man and touch base and show him that we're definitely interested. So yeah, I mean, putting it together, like I say, hate to lose them people, but since day one when we started this, the thought process was, we don't have to do this, but if we are going to do this, we're going to make sure that we're making the money we want to make, and you know, well, basically we're doing the things we want to do. Now don't get me wrong, there's some things we've done that, you know, you don't just necessarily want to do every day. There's some yards that we don't ever really want to go back to, but if it makes sense to do it right now, then we're going to keep doing it. But the money situation, you know, you could very easily, we could have 120 customers right now. y'all. I mean, if we never, very seldom have we ever just lost a customer for no reason. What I mean by that is, like, we've lost one or two, but for moving, we've lost one or two because they got a mower. But that's it. Majority of the ones we've lost or not gotten has been just strictly for price. So if we were not as bound and determined, I guess, to make every yard our minimum, I mean, yeah, we would have 120 might be a stretch. I know we've quoted that many, but I guarantee you we would be at 80 or 90 right now. But the problem with that is, if we were at 80 or 90 right now, we would have to spend more money to be able to make 80 or 90. We'd probably have to have a full-time employee, and we'd just be spending more money, and a lot of them yards wouldn't be at our number, at our minimum. And that was just the situation with that lady over there. We were at our minimum, you know, back before grass got really, really thick, and now we're not at our minimum. And you know, she needed a $20 or $25 bump, and she didn't want to do it. So, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna look there. We already have some people that are older, like elderly, and we don't really fool with their numbers, right? Even if we were wrong and we quoted it or something, like, and they're not way off, you know, we might need 10 bucks here and, you know, 20, 30 here or something like that. But I don't, you know what I mean? I don't fool with that. Everybody else though is going to be at our number, or we're just not going to do it. So, and I feel like we've been like that since day one. I don't want to get too deep into that, but the thought process was just simply, we want to make sure we build up a good customer base, a good firm foundation. And look, if somebody don't want to go up after you've been cutting them for, you know what I mean, going on 2 seasons now, and you show up and everything else, and you do what you say you're going to do type thing, well, you know, you don't need that person. I mean, there's just no other way to say it. That person's really not going to help you build your business. They don't, you know, and I know it's simply money, and I don't have anything against them at all. I get it. But anyways, so yeah, that's it, man. I'm happy with the last 2 weeks we've had, and hopefully we get to continue to grow and make
Boy,
it.
don't want me to go out there driving, son.
You ready, ain't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it, man. Like I say, 2 good weeks, and hopefully we continue to build on it.